Hello everyone, my name is Abigail Berdol and I am a student of Bachelor of Secondary Education. Today, we will be tackling various approaches to literary criticism, including new criticism, psychoanalytic criticism, reader response criticism, Marxist criticism, new historism, and meta-archetypal criticism. I will also be analyzing the literary work The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald through one of these lenses. Approaches to literary criticism. Number 1. New criticism. New criticism focuses on the text itself, analyzing the form structure, imagery, symbolism, and other literary elements within the text without considering the author's intention or historical context. For the example, in analyzing The Great Gatsby through the new criticism, we would look at the use of color symbolism such as the green light at the end of Daisy's talk and how it represents Gatsby's unattainable dreams. Number 2. Psychoanalytic criticism. This approach is rooted in Sigmund Freud theories and focuses on the psychological aspect of the characters of the author's unconscious mind. It looks at hidden desires, fears, and motivation within the narrative. For the examples, using psychoanalytic criticism, we might analyze Jay Gatsby's obsession with Daisy as a projection of his unconscious desires and how it reflects his inability to escape his past. Number 3. Reader response criticism. It emphasizes the role of the reader in interpreting the text. It argues that meaning is not fixed, but it's created through the reader's interaction with the text. For the example, the different readers may have different interpretation of The Great Gatsby, especially regarding whether they see Gatsby as a tragic hero or as someone driven by materialism. Number 4. Marxist criticism examines literature in the context of class struggles, social inequalities, and economic power. It looks at how class and economic forces shape characters, events, and the overall narrative. For the example, a Marxist reading of The Great Gatsby would focus on the divide between the wealthy characters, old money represented by Tom and Daisy, and new money represented by Gatsby, and the working class characters like George Wilson exploring how wealth and class impact their fates. Number 5. New historism. New historism places the text within its historical and cultural context, analyzing how the time period, politics, and societal norms influence the work. For the example, using the new historism to analyze The Great Gatsby, we could look at how the novel reflects the American dream and the economic boom and moral decay of 1920s, a time of post-World War I, economic growth, and social change. Number 6. Meta-archetypal criticism. This approach looks for recurring myths, archetypes, or universal symbols within a literary work, such as the hero's journey, the fall from innocence, or the use of certain mythological figures. For the example, analyzing The Great Gatsby through meta-archetypal criticism might focus on Gatsby as a tragic hero whose dream Daisy is his fatal flaw, and his downfall echoes and the archetypal story of unrequited love and ambition. Literary masterpiece analysis. Now, let's apply one of these literary theories to The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And this analysis, I will use Marxist criticism to examine the theme of class struggle and economic power within the novel. Introduction to the literary work. The Great Gatsby, published in 1925, is a novel set in Roaring Twenties, a time of great wealth and moral decline in America. It tells the story of Jay Gatsby, a mysterious millionaire, and his unrelenting love for Daisy Buchanan, a woman married to a wealthy man named Tom Buchanan. Claim. Through a Marxist lens, we can see that The Great Gatsby reveals the harsh realities of class inequality, demonstrating how the wealthy exploit the lower classes and how wealth creates a divide that prevents true social mobility. Evidence and application of Marxist criticism. Number 1. Tom and Daisy Buchanan. Tom and Daisy represent the old money, aristocracy who are born into the wealth and privilege. Their action throughout the novel show how the upper class can behave with impunity. Tom's condescending attitude towards Gatsby, new money, and his treatment of George Wilson, a struggling working class man, reveals the clear divide between classes. Number 2, Jay Gatsby. Gatsby represents new money and the illusion of the American dream. Although he accumulates vast wealth, he can never break into the world of old money. George Wilson. George Wilson, a poor mechanic, symbolizes the working class struggling to survive in a society controlled by the wealthy. His tragic end reflects how the poor are often collateral damage in the selfish pursuit of the rich. Tom's affair with the Wilson wife, Maritel, and the eventual consequences highlight the exploitation of the lower class. So, for the conclusion, Marx's criticism helps us understand how Fitzgerald critiques the American dream and the capitalist system, showing that the wealth, rather than bringing freedom and happiness, perpetuates inequality and suffering for those who are not born into privilege. In conclusion, by using Marx's criticism, we can see how The Great Gatsby highlights the stark class division in society and critiques the idea of the American dream. That's bring us to the end of my report. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.